All right, hello friends. Today is the 13th of February. It is Wednesday. I'm Aaron Michael Eschenberg, and this is your daily horoscope. So, this is a big day. I've been talking about this day since last week. There's a lot going on. So let's start us off first. The moon has moved into Gemini. Gemini is about siblings and communication with our closest friends, family members, sharing information. Gemini rules Mercury. Mercury actually has two signs. All the three personal planets, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, are all ruled by two different signs. So Mercury is ruled by Gemini and Virgo. So we like to look at these as like Gemini is AM radio and Virgo is like satellite radio. So you're going to hear the static, you're going to hear the noise, this AM radio. There's a lot of information. Either way, Mercury is about information. Exchanging information coming in, coming to light, talking about it, buzzing about it. So there's going to be a lot of buzz over the next 2.5 days here as the moon is going to be in Gemini. Now, where is Mercury? Mercury is up there getting closer and closer to Neptune every single day in Pisces. So what is the information that we're going to be talking about? What is the buzz that we're going to be experiencing for the next 2.5 days here is all about this higher thinking, higher consciousness. Bigger dreams, bigger thoughts. Now the funny thing is we're today is the end of a cycle. Okay, this is a three-parter. So the one happened over the weekend. Today is another day that this Mars and Uranus, Aries energy, this fire energy is ending, and then Uranus finally moves out on the 6th of March. Okay, so. This is about self-breakthroughs. We've been talking about that for a while here. Self-breakthroughs, self-realizations, individuality. So when we have this interesting, self-realizations, coming into awareness, coming into my own, realizing who I am, realizing each step that I take in this pond creates a ripple, and that ripple affects every single person and being around me. Every action that I take, we influence people much more than we actually think we do. Every smile and every frown, somebody's looking at that, and that's going to affect someone around you. Every thing we put out on social media or everything we do affects anybody else. Our own individuality affects the group as a whole. Now, the 29th degree of Aries has to do with understanding the harmonics of the cosmos, like the big song all together. Okay, the orchestra, the symphony, and each the strings and the woodwinds and the brass and the percussion, the whole ensemble here. And it's understanding that we each have our own individual role to play, but we are all a part of something much larger. We're just a piece of the puzzle. So as we internalize this and we're coming into our own, we're finding our strength and our passion and what drives and what moves us. And it's the difference of waking up in the morning and going, ugh, it's Wednesday, or getting up in the morning and saying, it's Wednesday. Yeah, that exists. You can have that kind of excited energy, and there's this shift that happens, and we're in the middle of that shift happening now. So as we're making this shift of getting more excited about our life and understanding the role that we play as well, it's like saying don't personalize and internal. So it's like being an open and clear channel, connecting with yourself, connecting with source, connecting with just the energy, right? And realizing and just listening to our inner voice. Listening to our inner voice and not personalizing it, not correcting it, not judging what's coming through our own internal, you can say your inner child or your higher self, whichever one you want to say, a message from spirit, which spirit is just breath. Spirit, Greek, look it up. Spirit literally just means breath. Inspire is inhale, expire is exhale. Your connection with your breath is your connection with spirit. It's your connection with source. Spirit has left his body. It just means the breath has left someone's body. Kind of interesting when we break things down like that. So as we, connect with our breath, we connect with source, and we are realizing who we are in this giant wheel, and it's just like, I am just this one piece of this giant thing here, and to not break my arm patting myself on the back. Okay, we all do a job. It doesn't make you a better person or a worse person or whatever. You know, it's like what you do in your actions make you a compassionate person or a good human being. Like, just because you know, are this screw and not this washer, or you're this you know, arm bracket of the big, you know, we're talking about like a giant machine here that is life, and we're all just a small piece of this giant machine. So as we're coming and realizing our own, again, that don't break your arm, patting yourself on the back here, it's like, yes, you are absolutely needed. You are a necessary piece of this puzzle. Without you, the puzzle is incomplete. Without you, you know, the spaceships never go into the moon, because you're the missing piece. But we're all the missing piece. So it's like saying, okay, you know, it's like eat some humble pie, as we're also realizing and coming into our own. All right, you know, you're unique just like everybody else. So that's a good thing. You know, it kind of, you can take some pressure off yourself. So, coming back full circle, this Mars and Aries is the end of a 7-year cycle. Mars only happens, you know, Mars and Aries happens in its home sign once every about, you know, 2 years. Uranus only comes to Aries every 84 years. So the fact that we get this right now is super, super, super exciting. This is a big push in, like, you know, forging the tools that are going to help get you through to the future. You know, you want to climb a mountain, you're going to have these right tools, you know, and you get to be the creator, and you're forging them right now. It's a pretty awesome time. And so again, understanding our own individuality is also understanding the bigger picture of who we are to everyone. So as all of this energy is over here in Aries, what's on the other side is Libra, the balance of you and me and how we all work and play together. And I get to know greater things about myself through others, through you. So once we realize who we are in this giant puzzle, we also help other people realize themselves by just being ourselves. That's pretty fun, pretty cool. So now back to this moon stuff. The buzz of the moon for the next 2 days, as we're getting close to what? We're getting close to Valentine's Day, right? And, you know, that's a double-edged sword. Valentine's Day is, it's, you know, a day for the lovers. And which is great, as Mercury is in Pisces. This is a completion. Aries is the completion, the new beginning. The completion is Pisces. Pisces is the end of the zodiac. Then Aries is the beginning, the initiation again. So we're going to have Mercury in Pisces for another couple weeks. So the fact that we have this ending happening over here, this new beginning happening in Aries, and this completion happening over here in Pisces, and the moon in Gemini. So all of this together, okay, if you're following along with that, what this is saying is, like, what we need to talk about, the things that we need to communicate over the next couple of days here, is the higher conscious stuff, the stuff from the, you know, let me see, that Mercury in Pisces. Again, we're talking about completion. We're talking about the intangible things. We're talking about emotion. We're talking about our intuition. We're talking about the big picture, the big ideas, the big thinking, big thoughts, big dreams, you know, the stuff that you can't quite nail down. It's not just this. When we're talking about emotions, we're not always talking about logic. It doesn't always make sense. And sometimes we have to just trust that inner voice to pull us to go where we need to go. And again, sometimes it's not going to always make sense, but we have to listen to that inner voice and move in that direction. And again, as we're talking about Valentine's Day, and I mean, all that's tomorrow, but still, this energy of today affects that. Okay, because I gotta wrap this up here. Because as a couple, as a unison, we learn each other and we grow together, and our own individuality we apply into the relationship, and we can flourish and flower. Right now, if we are single over here, we don't want to be, you know, this jaded, oh, it's Valentine's Day, this, or rushing ahead, you know, to look for our next lover. You know, that's not really where we're at right now. We have Venus up in Capricorn. So it's like, yeah, no, we've done this rush thing before. We're not rushing into something. We're not ill prepared about something. This has been well calculated. You know, we've been thinking about this and stirring this for a long time, and it's like, okay, it's time to bring into fruition, you know, this tree is going to start bearing fruit, basically. Yeah. And to be excited about our own individuality as a single person and celebrate that. To absolutely celebrate our own individuality, our uniqueness, our solo journey that we're at right now. And the more that we can just literally dive into and enjoy and love ourselves in a not egocentric way, not a narcissistic or sociopathic tendencies, but true, authentic, unconditional love for yourselves. We all make mistakes. We all do stupid stuff. But we have to be the ones that, you know, at the end of the day, we have to be the ones to love ourselves, to wake up, to say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna make today better than yesterday was. Amazing, amazing, amazing day. I feel like I'm getting a little off on the rambling side of things. So bringing it back in, we are buzzing, we are talking, we are feeling today and tomorrow, the next 2.5 days here through early Friday morning, when the moon's going to move into Cancer. I don't want to get too far ahead. But we are buzzing with information. All this information has to do with seeing the bigger picture. And the bigger picture helps us realize who the heck we are in this giant wheel of life. And it's good. And when we realize it, we don't have to fight it. We're not fighting it. We can just be a part of it. When we're a part of it, things flow. Have a flowy, amazing, aware, eureka, breakthrough in self-liberation and Independence Day for you, my friends. I love you. I wish you enough. I'll see you tomorrow. Happy Wednesday.